This is problem 140 from your trig packet. It says to find sine theta over 2, cosine theta over 2, and tangent theta over 2. And it tells you that cosine is 5 over 6 and that this has to be between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. So that's what theta has to be. So if theta is between 0 and 90 degrees, that means we're in quadrant 1. So if we look at the half angle formulas, you'll see the half angle formulas have both plus and minus for each formula. Well, if we're in quadrant 1, then we're only going to need to worry about the positive version of each of those. So we're going to have to do sine theta over 2 is just the positive version of each of these. So we start with cosine theta is 5 over 6. Well, all we need is cosine theta for each of these. So I'm going to go ahead and say that if I want to find sine theta over 2, sine theta over 2 is going to equal just the positive version. So that would be root 1 minus 5/6 over 2, which will be root, that would be 6 over 6 minus 5/6 over 2, which is equal to root 1/6 over 2, which is equal to root 1/12. So then I can write that as sine theta over 2 is equal to, if I do the square root of the top and the bottom, I get square root 1 over square root 12, which I can actually take this, make the square root of 1, 1, and then the square root of 12 is going to be root 3 times root 4, and the root of 4 is just 2, so I end up with 1 over 2 root 3. So that's what sine of theta over 2 equals. So then I'm going to do the same thing with cosine theta over 2. Cosine theta over 2, just the positive version, so I have root 1 plus cosine theta, which is 5/6, all over 2, which is going to equal, we'll have this as 1, well, root, this will be 6 over 6 plus 5 over 6, all over 2. So we'll get root of 11 over 6 over 2, which is equal to root 11 over 12, which equals, I think I'm just going to leave it as root 11 over 12. We can simplify the 12, but I don't really think it's that important to do that, so let's just leave it as cosine theta over 2 equals root 11 over 12. They may have you simplify that denominator in my math lab, and if they do, just split that root between the 11 and the 12, and then do the same thing we did in the top piece, which is basically write the denominator as 11 or 2 root 3. Let's go ahead and do tangent. So we have tangent of theta over 2 is equal to root 1 minus 5/6 over 1 plus 5/6, which would be root 6 over 6 minus 5/6 over 6 over 6 plus 5/6. When I subtract the top, I get root 1/6 over 11/6. Dividing two fractions, you flip and multiply, so I got root 1/6 times 6 over 11, which gives you root 1 over 11, which is equal to root 1 over root 11, which is equal to 1 over root 11. So I have tan of theta over 2 is equal to 1 over root 11.